Hello students, today we'll be discussing another problems, two problems on computation of taxable income from business. Look at this question they have given. The profit and loss account of Ajay Industries Limited is engaged in the business of manufacture of an item and they have given the net profit is 2 lakh for the year ending. So this net profit whatever 2 lakh they have given, that is the starting point for computation of your taxable income from business or business income. Now again they are given on verification thereof the assessing officer gets the following additional information. Now again they have below they have given certain expenses which have been debited and credited to P&L account. Now first point, look at first point what they have given. They have given a sum of 60,000 was imposed by customs authority as penalty. Now again whenever the company pays some duties or taxes it will become admissible except income taxes or personal taxes. But anyways if they are not paying the taxes within time and authorities will levy any additional interest or penalty, then it becomes inadmissible. So here the customs authority has levying penalty of 60,000. So since it is a penalty for late payment of taxes, it will become inadmissible. So since it is inadmissible, we have to add it back to net profit of 2 lakh rupees. Then again, look at second point. They have given the company had given a donation of 45,000 to Prime Minister's Dot Relief Fund. So we know that any donation and charity made by the company is inadmissible in nature. So this 45,000 should also be added back. Now look at third point. They have given the company had received dividends from Indian company amounting to 44,750. Now again, whatever income they have received from dividend from other Indian company, they have credited to P&L account. So since it is a non-business income, it is income from other sources which we have to deduct from net profit. Now the company had borrowed a sum of 5 lakh rupees for investment in share of another company, which was yet to declare dividends, and interest of 50,000 is calculated at the rate of 10% is debited to P&L account. That means the company has borrowed loan on 5 lakh rupees and for purpose of making investment in shares of another company. That means whatever loan they are borrowed, they are not using for business purpose, they are using it for investment purposes. So it becomes non-business expenses. And on the same amount, they are again calculated a loan at 10% on 5 lakh, which is amounting to 50,000 and it has been debited to P&L account. That means this 50,000 whatever interest they are paying on loan which is not used for business purpose will become inadmissible since they are using for some other purposes. They are not using it for business purposes. So this 50,000 becomes inadmissible and we should add it back to net profit. Again, they have given the company indulged in speculation and incurred a loss of 45,000. So apart from normal business law, in business they have earned net profit, but they have done some speculation business and they have incurred a loss of 45,000. So whenever they incur speculation loss, they cannot debit it to P&L account. But here they have shown this they have included this 45,000 in the P&L account, which they were not supposed to do. So this 45,000 will also become inadmissible, and they should be adding it back to net profit as per P&L account. Now, how do you solve this problem? Start from net profit as per P&L account, which is 2 lakh rupees. Add all the inadmissible expenses. So penalty paid to customs authority is inadmissible. 60,000 we are adding it back, and they made some donation to Prime Minister's Dot Relief Fund 45,000. That is also inadmissible. We are adding it back. Interest on loan for investment in shares. So they're paying the interest on loan for investment in shares, not for business purposes. So that is also inadmissible. We are adding it back. Speculation loss of 45,000 also we are adding it back. And you get a total of 4 lakh. Then again, if there are any admissible expenses not debited to P&L account or non-business income or income from any other heads of income, we should deduct from net profit. Now here they are given dividends received from Indian company. So dividend received from Indian company is not business income, it is income from other sources. So when you have any other income from other sources, it becomes non-business income and you should deduct such amount from net profit. So 44,750 of dividend income, since it is a non-business income, you are deducting from net profit and you will get a amount of 3,55,250. This will become your taxable income from business or business income. Now let us look at second question. They have given computer taxable income of Ramesh Company Limited for the year ending, and they have given two questions there. We have to compute income from business, that is taxable income from business. Then again we should also compute total income. Now again whenever they are given P&L account, what we have to do, we have to look at both the debit and credit side and find out which is admissible and which is inadmissible, and we should also see whether there are any other expenses apart from any other expenses which is not related to business and any other income which is not related to business. Now again look at first point here, they are given salaries and bonus. So salaries and bonus which is paid to employees is admissible, so no need to worry. Office rent also is related to business, no need to worry about that one. Then postage and stationery is also related to office expenses or business expenses, so no need to worry. So general expenses they have given 1 lakh. Now general expenses is also general administration charges. See, it is related to business, but however they have given some additional information related to general charges. Now out of this 1 lakh, they are telling that 5,000 rupees was used for advertising. So if you are using any money for advertising, that means it is related to business. So no need to worry. This 5,000 will also become admissible. So no need to worry about this 5,000. Again, they also said that in general charges, 1,000 rupees was used for charitable donation. Now, whenever you donate and make some contribution to charities and donations, then again such an amount will become inadmissible. So this 1,000 which you have donated for charitable purpose, you should add back to net profit. Then again they have given 3,000 is paid to motor car company for exchanging the old car for new car. Now what is important here is this 3,000 amount of money they are giving it for exchanging the old car and buying the new car. So when they buy the new car, it becomes capital expenditure, and capital expenditure is not supposed to be debited or recorded in P&L account. But anyways, this 3,000 is included in P&L account. So this 3,000 being capital expenditure, we have to again add it back, and it becomes inadmissible. Now the amount of depreciation admissible under the act is 15,000. So whatever depreciation they give in P&L account, like see here they are given reserve for depreciation. That means whatever depreciation amount they give on debit side of P&L account, that becomes inadmissible, you should add back. But whatever amount of depreciation they say which is admissible or which is allowed as per Income Tax Act or as per Section 32, we should deduct from net profit. Then again income tax paid, since it is personal expenditure, we should add it back, it becomes inadmissible. Now again let us go to credit side items. They have given gross profit 5 lakh, no need to worry. They have given interest. Now with regard to interest, look at this last additional information. They are given the amount of interest is received from government securities. That means this 10,000 whatever interest they are given, it is interest on government securities. That means this entire 10,000 is not related to business. So income is earned from other sources. So this 10,000 should be deducted from your net profit. Then again short-term capital gain. So it is income from capital gains, right? So this 15,000 is also non-business income or income under other head. So this 15,000 should also be deducted from your net profit. Now again you start with net profit as per P&L account 1,75,000. Add all the inadmissible expenses one by one, like reserve for depreciation, charitable donation 1,000, payment for car which is capital expenditure 3,000, income tax paid is a personal expenditure, so 50,000, that also you are adding. So you get a total of 2,79,000. Then all the inadmissible expenses or non-business income you should deduct from net profit. Interest from government securities is income from other sources, so you should deduct. Then short-term capital gains 15,000. This is also not related to business, so you should deduct. Then again depreciation which is admissible as per Income Tax Act 15,000 you should deduct. Now at the end you get an answer of 2,39,000, which becomes your taxable income from business. So this taxable income from business is also called as business income. Now again in this question they have also asked us to compute total income of the company. So how do you start? Income from business which you have computed earlier, that is above. How much you got income from business? It is 2,39,000. So you start with business income which is 2,39,000. Then again income from capital gains is 15,000, you add. Then again income from other sources, that is interest on government securities, you add 10,000. So for computing total income, you have to consider all the incomes earned under different heads of income. Now when you put all the incomes earned under different heads of income, you will get gross total income of 2,64,000. So once you get gross total income, you should see whether there are any deductions which is eligible under section 80G to 80 LA of IT Act. Now in this problem again they have made some donation to charitable institutions. So when you make donation to charitable institutions, you can claim deduction up to the extent of 50% on the amount contributed to charitable institutions under section 80G. So here they have made contribution of 10,000 rupees, and again the 1,000 only since 50% amount of this 1,000 is eligible, 50% will become 500 rupees. So this 500 rupees you can claim as deduction under section 80G. So 2,64,000 is your gross total income minus your deduction under section 80G is 500. You will get a final answer as 2,63,500, which will be your total income.